Hey, fellow Muppet fans, and welcome back to Movin' Right Along, a Muppet movie podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we watch the Muppet Christmas Carol 2 minutes at a time and talk about it a lot. I'm your host, Ryan Rowe.
I'm your other host, Anthony Strand.
And we're extremely excited to have our very special guest back from last week. Very special guest, who are you?
I am Noel MacNeal, who's been hanging around for the past 7 days to talk about the next 2 minutes of this movie.
I can't believe it. You've just been hanging
I've just
around,
been here,
drinking
just sitting
coffee.
back.
Yeah.
It gets dark, but thank you for turning on the lights. So,
Oh, of course. This is the least we could do.
Of course.
We're thrilled to have you back, and you are back to talk about minutes 21 and 22 of the Muppet Christmas Carol, in which One More Sleep finally concludes for real, and Scrooge goes home to see something scary at his house. This clip begins with the rats finishing wishing a Merry Christmas to Bob Cratchit. The one rat was saying Mr. Cratchit. It was that was where we were left hanging last time. The clip
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I gave a spoiler. It's just like, no, save it for next week. Don't tell them.
Right. And then Kermit finally sings the last couple lines of the song. After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas Day.
Yes.
And then we get this lovely shot of Kermit standing on the street, looking up at the moon and the stars. A shooting star flies by. Brian Henson has confirmed in various places that this is a nod to the shooting star in the desert scene in the Muppet movie. But
very nice.
The funny thing here, though, is just as the shooting star goes by, there's a rat, I think, yelling, Merry Christmas! So it kind of seems like either the shooting star is yelling Merry Christmas, or there's a rat flying on the star, or something. The timing of it is just kind of funny.
Right. Or else, like, there should be a neighbor, like, in a window somewhere. Like, keep it down!
That would have been a funny way to undercut this beautiful
exactly
sweet moment. Yeah. Stop singing, I'm trying to sleep. Yeah, exactly.
We should also point out that the recent vinyl release of the soundtrack, just this past Christmas, the sleeve art is Kevin Wilson's painting of this moment in the movie.
Is
Kermit looking up at the shooting star.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good choice
too. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah. Those. I don't know how anybody paints anything that looks like real life, but to paint something like that's just so evocative of something that's already so evocative. But also, this is one of the shots that I think of when I see casual Muppet fans saying that they don't like seeing the Muppets' legs. Like, really? Are you going to tell me you don't like seeing this shot of Kermit's whole body with his legs looking up at the night sky? Come on.
Although, to be fair, like, whenever I taught and trained puppeteers, like, for the co-productions of Sesame Street and other countries, and also for the master class that I co-teach with Peter Lentz in Texas called Beyond the Sock.
Yeah.
One of the examples I show, like, what you could do, like, with one puppet in frame, like a puppet by themselves, is from the Muppet Show, and it's Kermit doing, like, Happy Feet. He's got his little tuxedo on, and he's just, like, tap dancing away. And I say to everybody, it's like, okay, what's the joke? And it takes them a minute to, like, figure out what's the joke. It's like, look at it. What's the joke? And then somebody says, you never see his feet. It's like, that's it. It's like he's talking about feet. He's tap dancing, obviously, but you never see his feet. And because for this particular bit, you don't have to. You just believe that Kermit is actually standing there and he's tap dancing. It's like, you don't need to see his feet. So,
and I don't know. I definitely didn't get that joke as a kid seeing those old episodes of the Muppet Show. I don't know when it's probably somebody had to point out to me, like, you never actually see Kermit's feet in that number.
Right. Even though he's singing about happy feet, you never have
the whole song is about his feet. But
right, and you never see. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, they even make a joke on it on the Muppet, like, LP, like Statler and Waldorf say, like, on the show it was ridiculous, but on the record it doesn't even make sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like ridiculous. So then, but for this particular shot, it's just like for that moment, you see Kermit, like, head to toe, like, standing there, and he's got his, like, it's like, I can't remember. It's like I can't remember who did the costumes for the movie offhand.
I think Polly Smith is credited as the
they're just gorgeous. They're beautiful. So that's another reason. Like, of course, you want to see. Look at this. Look at this tailoring. Look at that.
Right. Yeah.
This is not off the rack for a frog. This is tailor made.
Yeah. I guess Bob Cratchit can spare. He spares enough of his salary to buy nice clothes.
Exactly. Just like
I think Scrooge wants his staff to look good. He needs to run a professional place.
Yeah, right.
Too. Exactly. It's like he'll splurge for like a patch or two, and like
right. He's never going to buy him pizza or anything, but
pizza, that popular Victorian London dish. Pizza.
Yes, pizza.
Yeah, what would have been the pizza toppings at this time period?
Yes, Oliver Twist, known to ask, please, sir, may I have another slice?
There you go. So everything is nice. It's Christmas Eve and everyone is happy. But then there's this little instrumental coda to the song, and we see poor little Bean Bunny huddled and shivering in this pile of newspapers outside. He has it even worse than Bob Cratchit. He's not singing. He's not skating. He's just out there alone on the street.
Yeah, just to remind you again, you see, it's not all happy on Christmas Eve. And
not for everyone.
That little thread of Scrooge being mean to him, and now this poor bunny is alone.
Yeah,
it's very sad. I guess it's worth it just because Scrooge is, spoiler again, nicer to him at the end of the movie, but it is very sad in this moment.
Yeah. Also, it's interesting where it's like one of those rare times in the movie where Steve Whitmire has two of his characters in the same shot.
Oh, that's true.
Because Steve at that time was Kermit, and he was Bean Bunny, and he's also Rizzo.
Right.
Yeah, so he's really all over this thing.
Yeah, I guess that is one shot where it goes from Kermit kind of in the background and then goes to Bean in the foreground.
Yeah. So most likely somebody is, once Kermit turns and leaves, that's another puppeteer, and Steve is now doing Bean, shivering in the cold, making a little whimpering sound. So, yeah.
Oh, poor little guy. The next thing we see is a very dark, very empty street, and the camera moves down as a horse-drawn carriage enters the shot, and this is being driven by Gonzo. You hear so much about Muppets driving cars in the Muppet movie, but you never hear anything about how Gonzo can drive a horse-drawn carriage.
And a real horse. This isn't a Muppet horse. It's a real horse,
yes.
This is a real horse.
Yes.
Which, again, was kind of like, wait a minute. It's like, because you've established all these other Muppet entities,
right?
Well,
and these Muppet animals, and suddenly it's a real horse coming through, which is a great image. Right. But then later on, there's another song and another shot, and you have two horses, Muppet horses, singing. And just well, wait a minute.
There are
what
also
about the
Muppet
real
horses
horse that came through?
Right.
But for effect, it was oh my gosh, it's a real horse. Oh my gosh, Gonzo's driving a real horse. Oh my god.
Yeah.
At the top of a carriage. It's great. So yes, it's a great shot.
Yeah, it looks good.
It is.
Again, just let the logic go.
Right. And one thing that I really love about it is the camera just kind of looks at the alley before Gonzo starts talking for about 6 seconds, which isn't really that long, but I don't know. There's just something about the way this movie uses pauses in a way that the previous three didn't and couldn't because it wouldn't have fit the tone, but it really takes the time to establish that this is cold and lonely and empty,
it's changing the mood after that song. It's kind of setting us up for the scary stuff that's about to happen.
Yeah, getting back to the dramatic bit because it's all about Scrooge's redemption. So before that, just the way you've established with that song, how Bob Cratchit, who's dirt poor, can still find joy in the moment. That Scrooge, who's richer than anybody, has no joy whatsoever. And so just to see that dark street, the loneliness, just hearing Gonzo's voice and the clip-clop of the horse-drawn carriage. By the way, also, chances are, Dave and Steve are, inside the carriage, just with their arms up.
Right.
So that looks like, traditionally how you would drive a horse-drawn carriage with the driver up on top. So, yes.
So I guess the actual person guiding the horse is down below, or?
Yeah, down below, or even just because
off to
the
the
horse,
side.
like the horse is like here-ish. You only see like pretty much the top of his head and his back. So the
At the
person's
bottom of the
like
frame.
even off camera, but
Right.
like with the lead and just like pulling him through.
Yeah.
So that you never see the person in front or below. They're just like on the side.
Yeah, they could
But the
do
way
that.
the camera's angled, you never see them. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah. I love all this stuff. So, yeah, and we alluded to this last week, but Gonzo mentions that Scrooge's chambers were formerly owned by Jacob and Robert Marley. And I had never thought of this detail before. I never really even noticed it, but I wonder if it's meant to be significant that this haunting that happens to Scrooge takes place in this house that his dead partners used to live in. Like, would it have happened if he had been renting a place somewhere else, or if he had been staying at the Holiday Inn? Like, maybe he never would have gotten haunted in the first place. I don't know.
Exactly. It's like because of his greed and like when his house was like, oh yeah, he's not using it anymore.
I guess,
So
yeah.
I'll just take it. So there is the connection
Yeah.
to also reestablishing that the connection that Scrooge had to his former partners. Also, of course, like the great Muppet joke that it's like Jacob Marley, but of course it's like Robert Marley, which of course the nickname would be Bob for Bob.
Yeah,
Right? So it was
I
like
assume that was intentional.
So silly.
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like because it's the Muppet Christmas Carol. So yes, of course we're going to have that little reference like Jacob and Robert Marley.
Right. What other name can we give to this made up Marley brother that is also
exactly.
a joke?
Like,
yeah.
If you can't, because you really couldn't have just Statler or just Waldorf. They are a pair, so you have to like have them together. So how can we do this? Okay, Jacob and Robert Marley. There we go.
Yeah.
Right. And Robert fits better in Victorian England than Ziggy would have.
Exactly.
Yes,
so
that's true.
The other thing.
Well, we'll have to wait until the next movie for Ziggy Marley.
For Ziggy Marley, right? Yeah, he's going to do the end credits song in Treasure
Island. Rizzo offers Gonzo some bread, which Gonzo declines. It's not really a joke, but it's kind of a cute moment.
I think this is a good time to talk about the fact that Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 steals Rizzo's bit from this movie.
Really?
Because Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 is eating in every single scene.
Oh.
Yeah,
Does
I don't
he
know
offer
why.
George Clooney some bread at some point?
He offers George Clooney some nachos at one point.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's just always eating, and it's a straight ripoff from Muppet Christmas.
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Wow. Okay, well, that is definitely going in the description of this episode.
There you go.
Brad Pitt steals Rizzo's shtick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt rips off the Muppets.
Yeah.
How?
Right.
Stay tuned.
So
there you go.
Gonzo asks us to remember that the Marleys are dead and decaying in their graves. And then Rizzo is like, yuck, which is, our sentiment as well.
Exactly.
Gonzo then is whispering and says, that thing you must remember, or nothing that follows will seem wondrous. Rizzo asks him why he's whispering, and he says, it's for dramatic emphasis. And Rizzo goes, oh, which is a very funny delivery, and also sounds like Wembley Fraggle, which is fun.
Right. Also, this I think this is a good time to talk about the difference between that moment in the book.
Sure.
Because a surprising amount of Gonzo's speech is Jerry Jewell original here.
Really? I am just continuously surprised by this.
Right. Jerry, one thing we've discovered during doing this podcast, doing a close reading of the book, is that Jerry Jewell is very good at writing things that sound like Dickens, and they blend in with the actual Dickens.
Yeah.
So here, what Gonzo says is, now once again, I must ask you to remember that the Marleys were dead and decaying in their graves. That one thing you must remember, or nothing that follows will seem wondrous. And what Dickens says is, there is no doubt that Marley was dead. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I am going to relate. So there's no dead and decaying in his grave, and it's not the word wondrous, it's wonderful. So
I would have bet
those
money.
are both Jewel.
Yeah, I would have bet money that nothing that follows will seem wondrous was taken straight from the book, but wow.
Right, but no. So it
sounds
like,
better.
It kind of does.
Right. Yeah, and
Jerry
so
Jewell
if
improving on
anything,
Charles Dickens.
Exactly.
Right, like doing this season of the podcast has given me even more admiration for Jerry Jewell, which I wouldn't have thought possible.
Right.
Because he's the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scrooge approaches his front door and his door knocker starts morphing. It turns into the face of Jacob Marley, played by one of our favorite cranky old man Muppets, who we have mentioned, Statler. He just kind of does this unearthly howl, and Scrooge recoils, and the horse on Gonzo and Rizzo's carriage starts and throws them off. Reminiscent of Young Frankenstein when people say Frau Blücher and the horses do that. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
do you know what her name means in German?
I don't think I do.
It's something like glue or something,
Yeah,
right?
it's glue.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's why the horses recoil in fear.
Wow. That's funny.
That's so funny.
Huh. So we already know that Scrooge had two partners, Jacob and Robert Marley, but it's interesting that they still only show one face here, which, of course, that's what it is in the book. It's just the one guy whose ghostly face shows up on the door. But Jacob, I wonder if there was ever any discussion of, like, should there be two door knockers? Should one of them be Statler and one of them be Waldorf? I don't know.
I don't think it would work as well because you need that close up of his face.
Yeah.
Like if it's two of them, it would have to be a wider shot.
Right.
And I don't think it would be as effective.
Yeah, you're probably
just
right.
like the one. And traditionally it's always Jacob's face that he sees. So
right. Well, and they even make a point to have Scrooge say Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
Which I believe is the only time in the movie that we establish that Statler is Jacob and Waldorf is Robert.
Right.
They don't address each other by first name.
They don't.
Or anything.
I don't know if they explicitly introduce themselves, but don't they say, like, we're your old partners and then Statler?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Jacob,
Yeah.
Waldorf
Jacob
says,
and
Robert
Marley.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's
right,
implied,
right.
although it's,
Yeah, because then that's the joke of, like, when Waldorf says, like, Robert Marley.
Right,
there it is.
Yeah. Well, and also I've always really liked, since this is the first time we hear Statler, I've always really liked that Jerry Nelson at age 58 plays Jacob Marley, Tiny Tim, and the Ghost of Christmas Present, all in the same adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and it doesn't feel like a joke. Like he's just amazing in all three of those roles.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Jerry had like the best voice characterizations of all Muppet performers. It was great. He told me one time, I told him that I saw this episode of Fraggle Rock and how Marjorie, the trash heap, who he voiced with this sort of Slavic accent, she gets moved. And so she can't she has to pull herself together and kind of like re-find herself. So she sings this song. And in the song, she goes through about a dozen accents until she finally gets back to how she sounds. And he said the reason why that song existed because they got a letter from a grandmother who said that when her grandson saw the episode of Fraggle Rock and saw the trash heap, he says, "Oh, it sounds like you, Nana," because the grandmother was from Yugoslavia.
Wow.
Sure, yeah.
And so in order to not so much maybe apologize, but also just make the playing field even, we're just going to make everybody kind of pissed off. Here are
a ridiculous
all the
accent
accents we're going to do. So we weren't deliberately favoring somebody for ridicule. Here's everybody. So that's it.
Wow.
Which is great.
Wow,
so
awesome.
and Jerry could go
for
through
that.
all the accents he knew, and it was awesome. It was it's a great song for Marjorie until she finally gets back to herself.
Yeah,
so
I'm gonna,
really good. But Jerry was awesome. He was amazing.
Oh yeah, I'll have to go back and I don't remember that song specifically. I know that episode where she's speaking in sort of like a low, growly kind of.
Yeah, it's called "The Trash Heap Doesn't Live Here Anymore." If anyone wants to look it up.
Yeah, I don't specifically remember that song, but I got it.
Right, it was she just goes through and gets her voice back. That's finding herself.
Yeah. This seems like the kind of thing that I'm surprised that I've never seen either Etsy merchandise or just a fan made thing of somebody making a Statler door knocker for their door and at least putting it up at Christmas.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. If someone out there is artsy enough to do that, Get on
Come
that.
on.
Send us pictures. Yeah.
Exactly. Disney's not doing it. Come on.
Oh, no, Disney's not going to do that.
No, it's like, come on. Like a Statler door knocker.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and especially it's the 30th anniversary of the movie. Like
Yes.
they really should put out stuff this year.
Yeah. Well, maybe they will as we get closer to Christmas. We'll see.
It's like,
Yeah.
put out the door knocker, and then when you knock it, it makes the howling noise.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. The unearthly. That's it.
Oh man, that'd be great. Would buy.
Oh, me too. Scrooge inspects the door knocker, which now seems normal. Scrooge says humbug. I believe this is the third time that he has uttered the word humbug in the movie so far.
So, are we doing a drinking game now? Like,
Yeah,
how many
take a
times
shot.
did you say humbug and you take a shot?
Right.
Take a shot of nog every time that Scrooge says humbug.
Right. And this is actually a really funny. The book is funnier because he doesn't say humbug here in the book. The exact quote is, he said poo poo and closed it with a bang.
Wow. Yeah.
You really can't make that too dramatic.
No.
No.
That would get a laugh if you had Michael Caine saying poo poo.
Exactly.
So Gonzo, having been thrown off by the horse, is on the ground now, out cold. Rizzo is shaking him. He's saying, Gonzo, speak to me. I mean, Mr. Dickens, Charlie, are you hurt? And Gonzo pops right up and continues his narration. All we hear him
Which
say
is really funny.
Before this clip cuts off is to say that, and then the clip ends.
Right.
But this is a very funny bit. Yeah, the timing on this is just perfect, where Rizzo is so distraught, and then Gonzo just pops up and keeps talking like nothing happened.
Right. And Rizzo comments on the fact that, like, never lost his, like, concentration.
Yeah, right. He's going to say, I guess he's not hurt or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I have for these 2 minutes. Any other thoughts on this clip, Noel?
Gonzo's outfit is awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
His outfit is so cute. It's so amazing. It's really good. It's great.
Gonzo's wearing a scarf, right?
He's wearing like a little scarf, but his jacket, like the top hat that he has, and it's like.
Actually, I don't think we've mentioned this yet. Have you seen the pictures of Timothee Chalamet from the set of the new Willy Wonka movie?
No.
As soon as I saw those pictures, the first thing I thought was, he looks like Gonzo in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Right. He's dressed exactly like Gonzo. He has that purple coat, the same shape of hat.
Right.
So the art director is a Muppet fan.
He must. Yeah, they must be. I don't know. Yeah. We'll look for a picture and put it in the show notes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I know we tweeted it out from the Tough Pigs account, like the side by side.
Okay. Good.
At the time, so we'll link the link to that.
Yeah, we'll track that down. Anthony, any other thoughts or any other book notes from the Curiosity Shop?
No, I got all my old Curiosity Shop notes taken care of already.
Okay. Then we can say poo-poo and close the door on another episode. So make sure everyone... There you go. Well done. Everyone, please make sure you check out toughpigs.com on the internet, all the social media places, etc. Thanks to Morgan Davy for our logo. If you want to support us on Patreon, we're at patreon.com/toughpigs. We would really appreciate that. You can email us at movingrightalong@toughpigs.com. You can find me.
But they should support you. They should also follow you. So
yes, follow us. Follow us, support us, praise us. Everything. Buy us pizza. You can find me on Twitter at @MeRyanRowe. I'm on Letterboxd at Movies Are Neat. Anthony is on Letterboxd at Zeppo Marxist. Noel, once again, remind people where they can find you and or your work on the internet, or if there's anything you want to plug.
I'm on Instagram at Noel MacNeal. I'm on Twitter at NMacNeal. I'm on the TikTok with a puppet version of a much larger character that I played on Disney Channel once upon a time, Bear who owned a big blue house. And we're also available for personal greetings on Cameo. So if you'd like to have a certain brew and wish you a happy birthday or congratulations, or just say that you're doing great, you can find us on Cameo. And then on YouTube and Instagram, I have the Show Me Show, which is a show I'm developing for autistic and special needs kids. So you can like and subscribe to us on YouTube, the Show Me Show.
Yes, everyone should like and subscribe and go find all those things. That I'm going to have to look you up on TikTok. I have a TikTok account. I really only have it because my wife Stacy likes to send me TikToks that she finds amusing. But so I'm not really following anyone, but I'll definitely have to follow.
The TikTok happened, and I say the TikTok because I'm old. The TikTok happened because in 2020, I was staying home a lot. I don't know about you guys, but in 2020, I was like kind of like staying home a lot, and so I had this puppet of Bear. So it's a puppet of a puppet, which is very meta.
It's a smaller version of.
It's a smaller version, as if Bear got stuck in the dryer. It's like a smaller version. It was built by James Voightal Jr.
Oh, sure.
He was an incredible builder. You should have him on this at some point.
I interviewed him for an article I did called "The Oral History of Mo Frackle," which is a puppet he built.
There you go. So then you got to get him on this one because he would love it. And James loves Christmas too, and this is one of his favorite movies. I know this for a fact. So then he made me this puppet because puppeteers Paul McGuinness and Haley Jenkins were getting married a few years earlier, and so at the reception, Paul wanted to surprise Haley by having me and Tyler Bunch and Peter Linz sing the song "Love Is Incredible" from Bear in the Big Blue House, and I thought, okay, that'd be nice, but it's kind of weird having three grown men just standing here doing these weird voices. And so I made hand puppet versions of Pip and Pop for Peter and Tyler, and I was going to make this puppet of Bear, and I got the material and all that, and I kept texting James saying, okay, what do I do? Like, what pattern should I use? How should I do this? Because James was one of the people who originally made Bear's head for the TV show, and so it got to the point after like the fifth text, he was like, no, just send me the stuff. I'll do it. And so I sent it off to him. And then the day of the wedding, he knocked on my hotel door and opened the door. And I opened this laundry bag and then pulled it out. And it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely, even down to like the little speckled, like cast nose that Bear has. So during 2020, my son, who is 17 going on 42 now, in 2020, he said, Dad, you should go on TikTok. And I was like, what's a TikTok?
Right.
And after a very patronizing, 15-year-old explanation of what TikTok is, he said, you should use your Bear. I was like, why? He's like, Millennials love Bear. They would go crazy. And it was just like, so I thought, okay, well, again, I was home. There was nothing else to do back then. So I was like, okay. So I did this little video saying, like, we're going to be on TikTok. And I was gobsmacked at like the views. It got like over like 1 million like hits. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And so then I did this thing because that was back when they were asking you to like make sure you wash your hands like 20 seconds and sing a little song. So I thought, so then Bear said like, remember, wash your hands for 20 seconds and sing a little song. And that's when you cut to me washing my hands and I'm singing the last part of the goodbye song, which will take like 20 seconds to do.
Right.
Then you cut back and then Bear says, and two, and this is most important, he's puts his nose in the camera, comes back, he's like, you are still smelling really good.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
And that got so many hits. I actually got interviewed on the BBC News because I was one of like celebrities trying to help kids like through the pandemic with like safety advice and health advice. And so me and Bear got interviewed on BBC.
That's great. Yeah. With people within a certain age range that grew up with the show, I'm sure that it's just, that's all they really want to hear is have Bear tell them that they smell good.
Yeah. And then in June of 2020, so many kids were missing their graduation. So Bear went on and made a little mortar board for him and a little graduation outfit. And to the music of Pomp and Circumstance, he congratulates everybody for, graduating and says like, as you set forth on the road of life, as you find your destiny, as you will hear your calling, remember one thing, you will always smell really good. And again, so many people were just like the weeping emojis and people, and so many people said like Bear started my childhood. Now he's helping me start my adulthood. And it's like, thank you so much. And just like all that stuff. So, and people keep asking me, he's like, when's it going to be on Playhouse? On Disney Plus. And it's like, folks, if it was up to me, it would never be off. But from what I know, between now and 11:59 p.m. New Year's Eve, it's going to be on. So sometime before the end of 2022,
Oh.
It's going to be on.
Wow. Is this a scoop or has this been?
It's a scoop.
Oh, okay.
'Cause I'm tired of this. It's like before the end of the year, it's going to be on. It's a scoop, kids.
There you go.
Can't
Just be
wait.
patient.
I can't wait.
Bear in the Blue House. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will,
yeah.
my kids will watch it a lot, I hope.
Right. And this October is the 25th anniversary, so all the more reason they should put it on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, speaking of your TikToks, I got to tell you, there was one where Bear sings. He's singing along with the goodbye song from Out of the Box.
Yes.
Which is by Peter Lorre, right? It's the same.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Bear goodbye song, but it's. And my younger brother, who grew up with both of those shows, a few years younger than me, he was so excited. He texted me that video. He's just like, "Did you see this? This is the greatest thing I've ever seen."
Oh yeah, it just blew people's minds. Like these two people from these two different shows were like singing like this song. It was like, oh my gosh, it was like a little multiverse of madness for people at that point. It was like Bear singing his song. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that is all fantastic. And I'm going to go follow you on TikTok very soon. And everyone else should as well. And everyone else should give us a positive review. If there's a place you can give us a positive review. And tell everyone you know about this show, all your friends, all your family. The next time you meet a haunted door knocker, tell him about the show. And join us again next week for another episode of Moving Right Along. See you later.
Poo-poo.
Nailed it.